I want to play a clip for you today of a Fox News guest sort of giving away the game, giving away the strategy when it comes to the anti-mask protests. There's this guy, David Avella, who's the chairman of GOPAC, G-O-P, PAC, GOPAC. Yeah, okay. He was a guest on Fox News, and he essentially admits to what these wild protests are at school board meetings, what they're really designed to do, and why they're being urged on by right-wing media and right-wing activists and strategists. They want to make public school seem so chaotic that parents will say, I'm pulling my kid out. I'm going to send them to a private school. I'm going to send them to a charter school. It's similar to the strategy around making the Postal Service really not function properly. We'll get to that. Let's start with the clip. Take a listen to this.
Julie brought to this conversation makes me think maybe she'll run for school board, and we need somebody like
be a class.
So right now they're praising some outrageous lunatic woman who was screaming her mouth, screaming her head off at a school board meeting.
Teacher, so I don't know about that. I actually elected to be the class teacher to my 6th grader, and I don't know what I was thinking.
Look, this is going to be a boom for private schools, for charter schools,
right,
for homeschoolers who are going to look for an alternative other than in the public school. And there are plenty of wonderful organizations out there that provide scholarships for kids to go to charter schools.
And by the way, it's entirely an apparatus that takes money away from public schools as well.
What we're going to start seeing is, once again, Democratic politicians' policies are going to hurt the very people they think they are going to help, which is in many of our poor and rural communities all across this country. And to Jenna's point, you ask most everyday teachers, they want to teach their kids the basics, reading, writing, arithmetic, so that they're ready to go out and compete in a world where China is not teaching the agenda.
Yeah, there's actually a question mark as to whether the standard curriculum is actually preparing our kids. That different question. But he's saying the quiet part out loud here. He's saying the quiet part. This has been the Republican agenda. This has been the DeSantis agenda for a long time in Florida as well. Weaken public schools in favor of corporate-owned schools, charter schools, private schools, etc. And one way to do it is creating requirements that make the schools look bad, either through testing, standardized testing, different things, to then say the school's not working, let's take money away, let's give vouchers to people who want to send their kids to a private or a charter school instead. So you make the schools worse to then justify making them even worse. This is it's like a perfect opportunity. Make it seem crazy. Parents hear, oh my God, there's anti-mask protesters outside of the school when my kids are showing up, and then there's anti-mask protesters taking over the school board. This is too crazy. I'm going to send my kids to a charter school, to a private school. I'm going to homeschool them. Remember, something like 70% of American homeschooling is Christian-based and for religious and moral reasons. Mission accomplished. This is exactly the plan. And the bigger picture here is privatization. That's the bigger picture. Destroy. Why do they want to make the Postal Service function like crap? Because then you can justify eliminating it altogether and saying, let's just let actual private industry, even though the Postal Service is an independent enterprise under the purview of the federal government, they don't want the government doing stuff, right? That's socialism. When the government does stuff, it's socialism, even if it's just oversight of an independent postal service. So then people go FedEx, they go UPS, DHL, etc. Damage the Postal Service to justify private replacements, damage public schools to justify sending more money to private schools and charter schools, etc. And they now are making these anti-mask protesters out to be martyrs or victims or whatever the case may be. Let's just look at one clip of that real quick. This is also during the same program, Kennedy saying, you're going to be targeted for passionately raising your voice.
We need to focus on the basics. And that's not what's happening right now.
Can I add something very quickly, Emily?
Of course.
You're more likely to be targeted and charged by the FBI for raising your voice passionately at a school board meeting than you are for trying to set a federal building on fire with people inside in Portland, Oregon.
Right. They're basically saying just protesting about masks is more likely to get you treated harshly by law enforcement than Antifa setting fires in Portland, Oregon. That's the case that they want to make. The game here is privatization. David Avella there saying the quiet part out loud. We know what they're doing. And also, it's the moralizing and the engaging people with the most controversial stuff they can. And right now, masking and vaccination is exactly what that is. They're admitting it. They're telling us that that's why they're doing it. Tuesday, October 19th, 6 p.m. Eastern Time will be our live viewer town hall. It'll be streaming only on the second YouTube channel, Pacman Live, at youtube.com/Pacman Live. Everybody will be allowed to call in. Members will get priority, but it'll be wide open to everybody. I hope you'll join us. If you follow me on social media, you know I love growing my own food in my backyard garden, and our sponsor, Lettuce Grow, has made growing food at home simpler than ever. The Lettuce Grow Farm Stand is a vertical stand that can be inside or outside, where you can grow over 200 varieties of fruits and vegetables. The farm stand waters and fertilizes itself. It does all the work for you. You can grow up to 36 plants at a time. Lettuce Grow sends you the seedlings, and then your food is ready to eat in 4 to 6 weeks. I've had a great experience with the Lettuce Grow Farm Stand. I've been growing delicious tomatoes, strawberries, eggplant. It only takes up 4 square feet, fits anywhere. I can move it around. Very, very easy. Growing your own food is so rewarding. Lettuce Grow makes it easy for anyone, and Lettuce Grow is giving my audience $50 off the farm stand. Just go to lettucegrow.com/Pacman and use the code Pacman. The link is down below.